So it's been really seriously considered, according to Sky Sports News, that Esteban Ocon is going to be replaced for the Canadian Grand Prix.
God,
Right?
get rid of him.
Not no. Okay, seriously though, is this right? Like, is it right? Are we
Um,
seriously going this far?
see, he's had decent results this year.
Yeah.
I'm not knocking the results. However, there's been many incidents in like with his teammate. Like we've had
Yep.
China, we've
Yep.
obviously had Monaco, we've had a couple of the races at the start. Was it?
They almost binned it in Miami. Somehow
Yeah,
managed to keep out of the wall.
yeah. And I think it's a case of it depends because if the team have sat them both down and gone to look, you need to stop. You need to keep it away from each other. If you're going to make a move, you need to leave at least two cars.
Yeah.
Like, it has to be space.
Yeah.
And if Ocon's ignored that, if Ocon's not listened to the team, and Ocon's just sent it in Monaco like he did, there's got to be some form of repercussion.
It's to my understanding as well that apparently Alpine had a debrief after qualifying before the race saying do not race each other. And Esteban Ocon broke that. And that's one of the reasons as to why it's so
Esteban Ocon broke that within 10 corners.
yeah, exactly. So it's interesting, and obviously being replaced for a race is a big punishment, and I can understand why, but at the same time, I think this is a situation where because it's such a tight midfield, it's such a you're scrambling for points. The only driver that they can realistically bring in is their reserve driver Jack Doohan.
Yeah.
Now Jack Doohan's a great driver, right? We all understand that he's not a slouch by any means. In fact, I think we both agree that he'll end up in Formula One eventually.
Yeah.
However, to call him up for his first Formula One weekend, first Formula One race, in a track that Canada is quite technical, when the midfield's so tight, is just absolutely ridiculous. Like you can't
Yeah,
do
I
that.
mean, drivers, though, like the top level drivers, if he's worthy of F1, he should be all right. Like, we saw Berman came in at Saudi, and Saudi's not an easy track by any means, and did well. I
Yeah,
know
but
it's in the Ferrari to the Alpine, and I know the midfield's tight, but you don't know, like, these young, they can just come through and have, like, a stellar race. Like, De Vries, when he first came in at the Williams, how well did he do at bloody Monza?
yeah, he did, but that was their risks that
Yeah,
you have to
they are
take.
risks. They are risks, but at the end of the day, you've got to keep some form of discipline within a team. And if you've got a driver going rogue consistently, like this isn't a new thing for Ocon, like hitting his teammate. We've had it with Perez, we had it with Fernando. Like there's
It's
a track record.
also
It's always Ocon. Maybe you just need some discipline and order to show. Look, you keep doing this, lad. You're easily replaced.
it's it's also quite interesting as well. I think it's definitely banning a driver for a Grand Prix isn't something that you do lightly, right?
No, it's not.
So crashing into your teammate, you don't ban a driver for doing that. So
No.
so I think this has been going on longer than we previously imagined. Like
What?
behind the scenes wise, I reckon there is we already know Alpine's in crisis, the whole team.
Yeah.
But in terms of the driver pairing of Ocon and Gasly, I reckon there's something going on there.
I mean,
There must be more.
we knew the driver pairing of Ocon and Gasly when it was announced last year. We know they don't get on like best mates.
No.
And we saw last year a couple of times they crashed, a couple of times they favoured Ocon, a couple of times they favoured Gasly. It was seen. And I think they've come into this year, Bruno Famin, and he said, look, if you're going to race, stay apart.
Yeah.
And multiple times this year, they have not. And the times that they haven't, you can almost always pin the blame on Ocon.
There's got to be something going on behind the scenes more than what we
There
know.
has to be something.
There has to be.
Where Ocon's not listening to the team, Ocon's going against the team, Ocon's doing his own thing, and the team are not liking him. And that's what's causing the ban.
I think if Alpine were nailed on that they would score points pretty much every weekend, I think this decision's a bit easier. I think you do replace him. I think it's a valid punishment. If you really need to get through to a driver, say, listen, you're replaceable. If Jack Doohan does well, then it's even better. But it's even bigger of a statement from Alpine. But the one thing that I'll refer back to as well is I don't think you can. Ocon has proven this year that, well, he hasn't proven, but he's outperformed Gasly this year overall. He's scored more points. He's outqualified him.
Has he scored more points? Have they not got the same points now for one?
Have they got one each? Oh, either way.
Ocon's had Gasly got the point in Monaco.
He did, yes, you're right. Ocon had more opportunity, should I say, to get points.
He didn't capitalise on it.
So Ocon's been the stronger driver this year.
I agree. At the start, he's been
exactly. And
ahead.
when you're in the battle that Alpine are in with Williams and Sauber and Haas, you can't.
It's a
risk. It's a big risk. You can't replace, because as you mentioned, Oliver Behrman did well in the Ferrari, but he was But where did he finish?
Ferrari.
Where did he finish?
7th.
Was it 7th?
6th.
If Carlos Sainz is in there, he's top 5, right? So the same could be applied to Alpine. Oh, okay, Jack Doohan finishes 17th, 18th. It's a good first race for him. He was on the pace. If Ocon was there, does he finish 12th, 13th? Does he finish 11th? Could he potentially finish 10th? This is the point I'm making. You know, when the points margins are so small, is it right? I don't think so. I don't think they should replace Ocon. And I don't think they will. But I think it's interesting that it's even been a point that they brought up.
I don't know. I think if you've got a driver who's a repeat offender, and it's not just this season, it is previous years when he was teammates with Checo, when he was teammates with Alonso, there was always crashes and it was always Ocon in there. And he always put the blame on someone else.
Yeah, I remember Checo that one season. It was all the time.
All the time. And the only common denominator through it all, like, you don't see Checo smashing into his teammate nowadays. You didn't see it with Hulkenberg. You only saw it with Ocon. You didn't see Alonso crashing all the time with his teammate. You saw it with Ocon. It's Ocon. Ocon's got a discipline problem in terms of, we don't know if it's outside the driving, which it clearly could be. But it's definitely on the track. He's got a discipline problem when it comes to battling teammates. And something's got to give. And if it is a race ban, if that's what he needs, if this is an accumulation of all the years gone by, maybe it's something he needs to just be like, look, you carry on with your teammate in this way. We don't want you here.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely an interesting dilemma. Let us know in the comments below. Do you reckon Ocon should be banned? Do you reckon he shouldn't be banned? Should Jack Doohan come in to replace him for Canada? Who knows? And Jack, my final question to you, do you think that there will be a separation of these two by the end of the season? Do you reckon next season Alpine have a different driver lineup?
Yes.
I think we can all agree on that.
It's a separate lineup.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe for more, and we'll see you in the next one.